What's up? Boom, hello everybody, what is going on? You're watching a new video here on the Car Boot Collectors YouTube channel. I'm your host James, and today I'm going to be doing another What's in the Box video. This is another box of random stuff fresh from my storage. So this is bits and bobs I've accumulated. I don't think there's any real mix, or I don't think there's any real, like, you know, rhyme or reason to this box. It is just like random stuff that has all just like ended up in this box together. So I grabbed this one today. I figured this would be like quite an interesting one to go through, because there's some pretty cool stuff in here I noticed while I cracked it open. So I figured we'll go through it and have a little gander. So hopefully it'll be an interesting one. As you can see, there's a few cool pieces that you can just like see on top already. Yeah, so we'll go through it and I'll sort of sort it out sort of loosely as I'm going through it, and ultimately most of this stuff will be listed up on my eBay shop at some point within the near future. So there you go, that is the introduction. So let's bloody get into it and have a little gander at what's here, I suppose. So right on the top you can see this bad boy right here. This is a WWF Foam Championship belt, or title if you will. Belt is the correct term though, in my opinion. This is a foam one from, you know, as they call it, the merch stand back in the day. So this is an item that would have been sold at sort of live WWF events. If you're familiar with the Major Wrestling Figure podcast, Matt Cardona collects all this stuff, the merch stand memorabilia. So it's made of, like, it's very cheaply made. It's foam with these very thin plastic plates, and that's about it. But there's not much else to say. I believe it's from the sort of late 80s, early 1990s. Not in the best condition. This one has, you know, little dents and stuff. I'm sure there's probably a way you can get all this wear out of the foam. There's got to be a way of, you know, rejuvenating it so it is not all dented up, because it's literally just like pressed in. But yeah, pretty cool little piece there. It's quite a rare item. I don't think it's particularly valuable, but pretty cool nonetheless. I'm going to move this box to the side so we've got a bit of room to work with. So next up we have got a Doctor Who flight control TARDIS, a very dusty one at that. This, I believe, is the reissue one. I had a bit of a funny story with this one. If this is, yeah, I think this one, the flight control TARDIS has got this little function, you know, it's got this bit on the bottom you can spin it around, and it's supposed to make lights and noises, so it goes like wow, wow. This is like the Matt Smith era one, but there's a reissue of it which came with a gift set which doesn't have the lights and sounds. So the battery cover, you crack it open and there's no contact, and I believe this is the one I'm thinking of where it is like that. And I remember I sold one on eBay, and I just like used the same listing and was like, you know, flight control TARDIS, lights and sounds working. And then when I came to like send it, I cracked it open, the battery compartment, you know, to test it again before it was sent out, and there was no contacts in there. So I was in a bloody old rush. I was like, this isn't the right one I've advertised. And luckily enough, my friend just happened to have one at hand, so I bought it off him, no problem. But this is the original one, I believe, which has got no battery element to it. You know, pointless little anecdote. But there you go. That's a cool one to look out for though. The one with the lights and sounds. I believe it's about sort of £25–30 item. The one without the lights and sounds, not so much. Okay. Next we've got some kind of random Power Ranger SPD sword thing. I wouldn't have bought that on its own, so that probably came in a lot at some point. Next up, let's go with this one. Now this is actually quite a rare piece. The other bit of it should be in here. Yeah, here we go. So this is an Action Team, which is sort of one of the international spin-offs variants of Action Man. This is like a sort of drag bike. I can't remember the name of this. It's something like the Fire Rider or the Fire something. But it's just this little pretty cool looking drag bike thing, really quite a rare piece. Not particularly valuable. When I bought this, I thought this was going to be something insane in terms of value, because I'd never seen one before, and it's just such an obscure piece. A lot of the Action Team stuff, you can see the little AT logo here, is really hard to find. But sure enough, you know, it's not. It's worth about, I think, about 30 quid in this condition. I think it's mostly complete, a couple of bits missing, but pretty cool thing nonetheless. It's the sort of thing I'm sure if I listed it for 30 quid it would sell within a few minutes, but it's not worth a whole lot more than that. Next up, another cool thing. really am a fan of this sort of thing. I've no idea if it's working. I don't remember ever testing it, but it's a remote control iron giant. I believe I bought this on eBay a year or so ago. It's probably like really poorly listed for not much money at all, but yeah, it's a little remote control iron giant. There used to be like basically no Iron Giant memorabilia to buy, like, and what was about was from when the film came out, like this being included, and it all used to be really expensive. But in the past couple of years there's been a bit of a resurgence, and suddenly you can buy merchandise for it again. Like Diamond Select do a really nice Iron Giant figure, there's a pop vinyl, there's all sorts of other statues and bits and pieces being released now. I don't know, it's sort of collector pieces, but still, that's a cool piece from when the film came out. I think that's like, what, 1999, I want to say. Don't know, it doesn't really matter, but there you go. And next up, we've got our whole Cadbury finger tin, and this is full of all sorts of retro pin badges, buttons, whatever you want to call them. Generally, when I see this kind of thing at the car boot, I'll have a quick flick through, and if there's one or two things that catch my eye, I'll just buy all of them. This, if I had to take a guess, I'd probably guess that this is a lot which I probably have already taken out what I wanted, and this is like the dregs. A Brother Beyond pin there, probably from Smash Hits. So there's some okay stuff in here. There's some stuff in here people will probably want. There's a Charlie Chalk one there from Brewers Fair. Keep Britain beautiful. Mr. Man. Yeah, and that's a good one. That's Star Wars. That's probably worth £5. A lot of little pins in here, which, you know, are probably worth a few pence each. Collectively, maybe a few quid. I'll go through those. I'm not going to bother doing it now because it's going to take forever. A lot of them are boring though. I am for. So yeah, badges. As I've been sorting through my stuff, I found loads of like badges and bits and bobs. I'll probably list them on Instagram at some point, because I know a lot of people collect them, but it's not really worth my time to list them individually, especially when they're only going to sell for like a quid or two. But the slightly better ones I'll probably list on eBay at some point. Next up, this is a Power Rangers Lost in Space ship. Very dusty. I've no idea. I don't know any more about that apart from that it's Power Rangers Lost in Space. We've got a very manky Street Shark. I remember now, some of this stuff in here came from a big auction lot I got, I believe, like late last year. And I have never really gone through it. This is probably some of the better bits that came from it. But there's a lot of, I've got another box somewhere that I've never really looked through of this kind of thing. Street Sharks, WWF. And they're all really grubby, which is why I didn't really do anything with them. But there he is, there's a Street Shark, very grubby. This stuff has got like latex paint, which is very prone to getting grubby and is really hard to clean. So there's a Street Shark. Those have really started to pick up some value recently. I don't know why. A really disgusting bootleg troll using like the sort of He-Man style body. Made by TNT apparently. I don't recognise what range that is from. There is a troll. I got a little Polly Pocket style Pokemon set, which I was actually thinking about this the other day. I remember buying this at the car boot, and I saw one on eBay that was quite expensive. And I was like, I'm pretty sure I've got one of those somewhere. And sure enough, here it is. So I believe, if I remember correctly, this one's complete with all the little bits and bobs. But yeah, it's like a little Polly Pocket compact with a few figures in it. There you go. Next up, there's a bit of a box. I don't remember what that belongs to, or do I? Don't know. Probably doesn't matter even if I could remember what it was. Okay, we've got an Action Man head here. Now I do have the rest of this. I doubt it's in this box because I can't see it. But this is an Action Man space helmet with an eagle eyes head in there. I have got the rest of this figure somewhere. The head was like split off when I bought it, but I've got like the complete outfit somewhere on a figure minus the head. Another hideous bootleg troll. Some of those are really sought after. I don't think either of these two are. The more wild ones are, but not those. This is probably destined for the bin. This is a Lunar Gym plush, which is really grubby. It's probably going to go in the bin. Bit of the TARDIS playset. That's the door, which sort of goes at the front. Don't know why I've got that. I don't think I've got the playset. I want to say a G2 Transformer. Don't know who that one is. Transformers, not really my thing. sort of like a bootleg Beetleborg. It's incredibly cheaply made. Now, I remember this one. Now, this is a bit of a mystery piece because I don't think anyone's ever been able to identify this when I've posted this on groups. This is a bootleg of Violator from Spawn, but just this really cheapo little knockoff one. I've got a couple of other ones. They might be in this box. Have a quick gander. I'm dropping stuff. Got it. Let me have a quick look. I don't see it in. I've got a couple of other Spawn figures that are clearly from the same range or set that came from, but not. I can't see them in here. This dude, this is made by Yolanda, which is like a sort of European company. This is from one of the like Toei animation things. I think it's Grandizer or something like that. I don't know the character's name, unfortunately. Another bootleg dude. That's a wrestler or a gladiator. Another bootleg guy, exactly the same body as the other one I just found. Dude from the Banana Splits, little plush toy. As a set, these are pretty expensive. Individually, I doubt it's worth a whole lot, but as a set of 4, I've sold this quite a few times for quite a bit of money. One of those weird things you wouldn't think anyone would really care to own, let alone pay a bit for, but there you go. Got a Solido tank. Missing the tracks, missing the hatch. You can see what I'm on about. This is just a box of real random stuff. There's a lot of things in here which are just completely random. I remember these dudes. I have got more of these somewhere. This was a set of Action Force figures I bought at the car boot sale, and they were all in like mint condition. Most of them fully complete. So I bagged them up with the accessories. I get the feeling I might have sold a handful of these at the toy fair. But there's a couple of them. I probably got more of these somewhere. I can't see any more in here. But I, at the very least, did have more of these at some point. There is the skeleton dude. Really cool. With his sticker intact. And there is one of the bad ones. I don't know. He's got his little cardboard bit, which I'd imagine is quite hard to find because it's made of cardboard. Just a lot of smalls in the bottom of the box. I'm probably not going to go through because it's just a lot of toy soldiers and really like stuff, which is not a lot of point showing individually. I've got a C-3PO removable limbs baggie. This is how they were issued if they were like a mail away. This figure is pretty common as a baggie. It's like a sort of entry level one. He's, you know, about 15 quid. There used to be a guy on eBay. He must have found like a few boxes of these, and there was a period of time where you could pick this up on eBay for like a couple of quid. That one I probably bought at the toy fair. But I have got one in my own collection of that, which I bought on eBay many moons ago. That's from a dinky vehicle. That's from one of the so like an anti-aircraft gun. G.I. Joe instructions for a combat jet. So you see what I'm talking about. The bottom of the box is mostly just toy soldiers and bits and bobs. There's a Lego Wampa arm. Got a Marvel Legends Phoenix here. This one, I want to say it's a fairly sought after figure. Probably not worth crazy money. I'm going to guess about 20 quid. And we'll go for a little bit more. This is funky. Little Star Wars record eraser. So it's just a little vinyl record shaped rubber that's licensed to Star Wars for some reason. I've got a Lone Ranger here. Now I did actually see his hat. I don't know where that's to. There we go. So yeah, these are made by Gabrielle Toys, but like licensed out by Marks. That might be the other way around. I'm not too clued up on these. But he's in pretty nice nick. His outfit's quite faded. It should be like a bluey grey, not this like greeny grey. But he's in pretty nice condition. He's got his mask and his hat. He's pretty clean, just other than the faded outfit. We've got a very marked up guy from Pink Panther. These are made by Palisades, and these are really nice figures, these Pink Panther ones. I did have a full set of them at one point. Not in this box. Most of them, I believe, have sold. Although I did find the Pink Panther one in a box the other day. So I might still have a couple. I can't remember his name, but he comes with a whole load of accessories, which I can see sort of like knocking around in the bottom of the box here. There's his hat. He comes with a little paint bucket. There's a couple of other little bits and bobs in here that I believe belong to this figure. Very faded Matchbox Thunderbirds dude. There's a little Matchbox catalogue, 1989. A Timpo guard horse. This is worth like nothing, but as an interesting note, they made this in a couple of different colours, white and grey, and I think maybe another colour, but they made it in black as well, and the black one of this is worth insane money, like 200, 250 quid. The white one basically nothing, but you can get some colour variations with Timpo toy soldiers that are insane money. But you know, black one of these worth looking out for. There's a little pin badge here, Statler and Waldorf from the Muppets. I don't think there's going to be too much else that's really worth showing in here, to be fair. That's an ear off of the K9 remote control toy. It's an old dap old Dalek minus that bit, although I do actually have I have one of these which has got the eye broken, but it's got the other bits, so I can put exactly the same colour as well, so I can make a complete one of those. If I could ever find the bit, which I doubt I'll be able to immediately. That's a hat for that figure. These are Matchbox Space dudes. These came with like the Battle King Space ones or something like that. Space 2000 they're called. Now this is annoying. That's the head off of that bootleg Spawn figure I was talking about. That's Angelica or Angelique or something like that. I did have the full figure. I don't remember the head being separated. That's I don't know where that's to. Base for that Pink Panther too. Yeah, so an early base is going to be rounding this off. We've got a load of cards here that are quite interesting from the Brooklands race game. I don't have the box or the board, but I have a whole bunch of the cards, and I do have some of the cards. I don't actually know a whole lot about this game. There's the bit for the Dalek. I don't need the other one now. I don't know a whole lot about this game, but I do know that it's pretty old. It's probably like 1920s, 1930s. I got this in like an auction junk lot. There's one of the cars, you know, like flat lead. So that's pretty interesting stuff. Ah, there you go. There's the body of that figure. It's all fell apart. I don't know how that's managed to happen. Back of a Corgi car. There's a bunch of toy soldiers, and I'm not going to go too in depth for these, but there's some Britain's detail stuff there. I remember getting these are part of an auction lot, and there's not really enough of anything in here to like sell as groups, so I just put it in here and I've forgotten about it. There's a tractor dude. I've never been able to find out what this is. I don't know what he belongs to. I assume he's for a tractor. He's got a massive slit in his ass, which I don't know what else you can say about that really. So there you go, that's basically going to round off this video. As you can see, there's a few interesting bits in here. Nothing really that's going to blow your socks off, but it just gives you an idea of the sort of crap that's going to be coming out in these videos as I start to do more videos more frequently. So if you see something here you like, leave a comment, give me a little message on Instagram, because pretty much everything here is going to be up for grabs, other than the stuff that says going to be binned, or the stuff which I'll just put to a side until I know what it is. But yeah, some pretty cool stuff here. So if you want to see more videos like this, feel free to subscribe. There will be more coming up soon. Cheers for watching this one. Stay safe, I suppose. So see you around.